Welcome back to Young Tripp Reactions. The next video we're going to do is Black elderly woman stabbed 19 times and nobody intervened. Absolutely insane. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the Young Tripp family. If you have any videos that you run across that you want to hear me react to on the channel, post it in my community tab or send it to me through direct message over on Instagram. If you have anything personal going on or somebody you know or anything like that, send that to me through direct message over on Instagram. Also, come follow me over on Instagram because I post over there as well too. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification and join the Young Tripp family. Let's get into it.
A black elderly woman was stabbed. A black elderly woman was stabbed 19 times by a bystander, and nobody did a damn thing about it. Put it up full mass.
Put it up.
It's a sad story.
Put it up full mass, Jordan.
In Atlanta, Margaret Swan, a retired daycare worker and great-grandmother, was stabbed to death by John Elijah Matthews on the subway as bystanders stood by and did nothing. Another stabbing, this one non-fatal, would happen at a different station 4 days later. Ms. Swan, who relied on Atlanta's MARTA bus and train system to get around, was on her way home aboard a train near the Oakland City Station downtown. This was on May 30th, when John Elijah Matthews, a 25-year-old man unknown to her, stood next to her for a few moments, then took out a pocket knife and slashed her throat. He then viciously stabbed Ms. Swan 18 more times in the neck and the chest as she screamed and tried to get away. That's according to the arrest warrant that local News 11 Alive reported. Terrified passengers were seen on the closed caption television, huddling on the other side of the train as Mr. Matthews threw Ms. Swan to the floor and then calmly stood near her until the train arrived at the station, where he got off. He was promptly then arrested by MARTA police. Ms. Swan was pronounced dead at the scene. Matthews was charged with murder by Fulton County and with a federal charge of committing an act of violence causing death at a mass transportation station by the U.S. District Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia. Federal prosecutors said they may seek the death penalty against him. Now,
As they should. As they should. Let's continue.
Now, the District of Georgia, federal prosecutors said they may seek the death penalty against him. Now, the federal prosecutors, this is a tragedy already. There's no need to make it political. I'm going to give you the truth. Typically, the death penalty will not apply unless you have premeditation, significant premeditation, like planning is seen. We don't know yet motive. MARTA interim general manager Jonathan Hunt and MARTA police chief Scott Creer told Fox 5 their safety plan for the World Cup includes 12,000 security cameras, extra uniformed and undercover officers, and real-time monitoring from the crime center. Now, I'm going to back up before I get into the rest of the story and what the family had to say. If you can do that for the World Cup, why can't you do that for Ms. Swan?
Facts.
If you can do that for the World Cup, why can't you do that for Ms. Swan? If you can do that for the World Cup, Why couldn't you do that for Mama them prior to the World Cup coming? If you can do that for the World Cup, because you believe that those that are traveling here and the great corporate sponsors that you have are worthy of protection, why would you not do that for the people who made Atlanta all that Atlanta is? The community that she was going to is a well-known, established Black community. That's where everybody, mama, grandmama, great-grandmama, auntie, barbecues, the whole nine. Proud community. They're not rich. They survive. But that is your backbone of Atlanta. Made Atlanta all that it is today. On Tuesday, the MARTA head said putting an officer on every train is not a feasible option with its current staffing levels. MARTA said it has 280 officers to help protect riders. Quote, if we had an officer on every train, maybe that stabbing would not have happened Saturday. But is that logistically possible? No. I don't have 300 officers every shift to put on every single train car. In an interview with Atlanta News First, the quote was, if a violent individual wants to commit a violent act, I don't think any amount of security is going to stop him. End quote. That's what the head of MARTA Transportation said.
Wow. We don't think there's no amount of security that would have stopped somebody who wanted to do a crime. Oh, really? Okay, whatever. They'll think twice, but since you think differently, okay, let's continue.
He went on to say MARTA is dedicated to him. End quote. That's what the head of MARTA Transportation said. He went on to say MARTA is dedicated to putting an officer on board every train when his new trains go into revenue service. He just said that it would make a difference. And now you're willing to do this when your new trains become revenue ready. But you said it wouldn't make a difference. There's more. Regarding Atlanta's readiness to host the World Cup, Spike said, quote, our city has long experience managing major conventions, festivals, and sporting events that draw significant crowds. The APD is well versed in large-scale operational planning and collaborates with local, state, and federal partners to ensure public safety. We send our condolences to the victims and their families affected by these recent crimes. Unfortunately, random acts of violence are by nature unpredictable. We continue to emphasize the importance of situational awareness, being mindful of your surroundings, and reporting any suspicious behavior immediately. Ms. Swan's family argues that her death was, in fact, preventable. Sam's, her daughter, is calling for MARTA police officers to ride the trains instead of just patrolling the stations. Quote, people are more worried about the World Cup, she told Atlanta News First. But what happens before the World Cup? What happens after the World Cup, she said. Quote, what if the World Cup wasn't coming here? There's no protection for these women at all. And it's sad. Yeah, this is not a budget issue or revenue issue. This is a leadership issue. It's a leadership issue. If you want an officer on every train car, it can happen. It can be done. If you want to have additional security cameras in order to solve crimes at a higher level, creating its own ecosystem that says you cannot do crime here and get away with it, it can happen. You can do it. But it comes down to leadership. We're going to follow this story and the outcome, and obviously what they plan to do for the future of Atlanta residents, all right? And those that travel.
That's really a shame. They should have had somebody on that train. Prayers go out to her family. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the Young Tripp family. If you have any videos you run across that you want to hear me react to on the channel, post it in my community tab or send it to me through direct message over on Instagram. If you have anything personal going on that you want like an activist on it, and having a hard time like getting justice, involving something like with the police, or anything that's high end, big of a problem, send that to me through direct message over on Instagram. We can talk about that over there. And if it fits something that needs multiple activists and people like that, and you already got people already on it as well too, and it's highly big on the news and things like that, we could, like I said, we could talk about it, and then I could possibly get involved in it myself to also help bring more awareness to it, and help you out with possibly also getting justice. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the Young Tripp family. Come follow me over on Instagram because I post over there as well too. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.